is February 6, 2022. This is my air layering of a Ficus Benjamina variegated. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and get this taken out of here. I'm a little bit worried, concerned about these roots. Mainly because I let the moss get a little bit too dry. I started this cutting on Thanksgiving. We were at my sister-in-law's house, and I took the air layering at that time on Thanksgiving. Around Christmas, I checked it and we had some roots. Mid-January, I checked it and it was a bit on the dry side. But as you can see, there are roots in there. They just don't look quite as healthy as I would like. I'm gonna have to clean this up just a little bit. All right. I've been trying to kind of rake the root ball out just a little bit. Need to get as much of this gone as possible. We're gonna cut it off here, as high up in there as we can, and then we will go ahead and get it into its training pot. All right, here we go. All right, I have snipped it off about as far down as I am willing and daring to go. Now I'm gonna get it into the training pot. All right, so just got the little drainage layer. And honestly, this is just, this is the same grit that they sand the streets with. I sweep it up in the spring and, get the dust off it and wash it out and make for a nice drainage layer for the bottom of the bonsai pots. And then I got bonsai soil and fine fir bark. Bonsai soil, fine fir bark mixed with some sphagnum moss. Fresh sphagnum moss, well, not fresh, but. And now place that right there over the top. All right, I'm gonna get this soil worked in here. I'll be right back in just a minute. All right, so I've got it all potted up. It will not support itself. It's got way too much growth on it to support itself right now. So I need to make some cuts on it, some serious decisions on where to take it. Now I've got a couple ideas already. The first one that I know can go is going to be this one here, because so right in there, we just nice little crossing patterns and whatnot, and I don't want all that to be happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out of here. And not all the way, I'm gonna cut it back to these buds here. A little bit there for dieback. We'll cut you back to here. All right. Just in case we get some buds off of that one. All right. Cut you back to here, back to here. One branch, two branch. Let's see if you back bud. Take you off here. I'll need to leave 3 leaves as a branch, 4 leaves. No space for dieback. Got some leggy growth, but let's hope that that recovers. Maybe get some back budding It is May 1st, 2022. We are back with my Variegated Ficus Benjamina air layering for my sister-in-law. It is really liking its new pot. It has put on a lot of new growth. A lot of new buds, been back budding like crazy. You can see there's some major design flaws in this thing. Like the secondary trunk right here pushing right back in. This long skinny branch here, I'm hoping for some back buds on it somewhere. Otherwise it's just gonna be there to thicken the trunk. This branch out here has so much vigor. The brand new buds that have shot out the back here. New buds shot out the back here. On the top, just plenty of new growth up there. This branch is dead, gotta get rid of it. Gotta get rid of this. But she's alive and she's doing well. June 28th, 2022. Air layering Ficus Benjamina, variegated. I brought her into the office here where she can grow in this window because it felt like she was kind of stalling out at home and underneath the lights. I don't think it was getting warm enough. Still haven't taken care of any of these dead branches or anything, but it's not looking too bad. July is just around the corner. We are past summer solstice, so these days are just getting shorter and shorter. I'll be back when we got just a bit more to show you though. July 22nd, 2022. Still sitting at the office, not doing as well as I kind of hoped it would have been doing. After a month of being here, I thought I was going to see a little bit more, but maybe it's a little bit too dry here. I don't know. Not a lot of new growth happening, but I think it maybe just as acclimating and adjusting. It's a bit drier here at the office than it is at home. And the water's not quite as good. You know, there's some city water, so it's not as good. Put stuff in it. At home, I'm on a well, private well, so it's just pure. It's just pure. All right, we'll be back. All right, folks, August 11th, 2022. I'm back a little earlier with this update than I wanted to, but I want to document a few things on this tree here. So as you look right here, we got a brand new leaf coming in on my sacrifice branch, but it doesn't excite me quite as much. Other than that might mean I might get some more growth on here. That could actually help me thicken that trunk. But the really cool one, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. Right, let's see here. Right there, got a little green dot of a bud coming in. Which means I got more branching coming off of this one. And as you can see, that's supposed to be like the primary branch or whatever, but my main trunk line is supposed to be this one right here. But that gives me some ideas to make a few changes on this tree. September 15th, 2022. I'm back with my variegated Ficus Benjamina. She's looking pretty healthy and happy. Give you a quick spin on her. Lots of vigorous growth up here on the top. Out here, there's even new buds coming in as we speak. Well, as I speak. My buds have come in over here with the new growth. Even got some new buds coming in down here. And a little update on that bud that we showed last time. It is still there. Been keeping the bugs off it and spraying it, trying to keep it moist. Hoping that it really does something. All right, be back when I got more to show you. October 12th, 2022. Just got done watching the previous clips of this one here, and man, this thing has really filled out since I brought it here. A lot more than I'd known if I didn't go back and look at those clips. Give you a quick spin on it. I'm not positive on the front yet. Still liking the idea of putting it at an angle, but I don't know. This bud right here, real slow to grow out. Still just barely sitting there. All the ones, the new buds out here, there's grown 2 leaves out there. This one's grown a 2nd leaf already. But that one's just being a little stubborn butt. I sure do dig these leaves though, that's for sure. Kind of reminds me of the Vietnam era camo, if you will. The tiger stripe camo is what they call it, but looks pretty cool to me. Definitely getting into the winter months, so we'll see how she keeps doing when we get limited sunshine up here. Be back when I got more to show you. November 9th, 2022. Still looking pretty darn healthy and happy here. Sunrise to sunset's about 9 hours, and that includes twilight and dusk, so not a whole lot of sunlight coming in anymore. But it looks like it's doing relatively well. Heck of a canopy growing in up on top. And if you look right here, that little bud finally grew a leaf. Back budding on old wood. That makes me happy. Alright, be back when I got more to show you. It is November 26th, 2022. Plan today is to come in here and give my Variegated Ficus Benjamina a bit of a trim back here, and then commit to making this my new leader, planting it more at an angle like that possibly. And I'm going to start an air layer on this right here, trying to get as much movement in the trunk as I can. So it starts out with a pretty gnarly looking trunk, and then I can grow it out from there. All right, we'll get this started. Alright, got it pretty much trimmed up here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take off some of this old dead stuff here too to make this transition look just a little bit nicer. It's old and dead. See if I can start smoothing that out. Oh, it's still bleeding a little bit, so. But I got it trimmed back quite a bit on my main trunk here. If I'm holding it up like this, I think it's going to be looking pretty good. And this one I just trimmed back. No complete plan with that one just yet. All right. Get you a little bit closer here. Now you can see how I've got it all trimmed up. She's bleeding pretty good. Nothing wrong with that. That branch down low, don't worry about that one. That's just my sacrifice branch. And then this one back here. Trimmed it back pretty hard. And we'll just let the winter take over, let a winter growth come in and see how she does. All right, be back when I got more to show you. December 21st, 2022. Brought my variegated Ficus Benjamina home. Got myself a grow tent at home and some really good lights. Well, at least better lights than I had before. So Wasn't getting enough light at the office there, being it's winter solstice right now. We got about 5 3/4 of an hour of daylight per day between sunrise and sunset. So do not see any roots coming through just yet. I think I might see a couple, but not real positive on my air layering there. So give it another couple of weeks, see what I can do. Definitely got some new growth coming in though already, which is pretty exciting. Makes me pretty happy. I thought I was going to see a little bit more leaf drop, but so far I have not seen much of a leaf drop on this thing. You know, I've changed this environment completely, but all right, I'll get back when I got more to show you. January 24th, 2023. Variegated Benjamina looking pretty daggum good. I'm definitely seeing some roots in that air layer down there, so getting ready to chop that off real soon here. Don't know that I'll have time this morning, but the growth and everything else is looking good, and I'm sure it's going to explode as soon as I take that air layer off of there. All right, folks, back when I got more to show you. All right, it is February 5th, 2023. And from my variegated Ficus Benjamina, I have finally taken the big chop here, and it is now air layered and taken off. So I'm gonna cut this back so it's nice and a little bit more flush, then go ahead and put some cut and paste on there and show what it looks like after. All right, got her all cut back and big old glob of cut paste on there. Go ahead and zoom out a little bit more so you can see a bit more of the actual tree. I think if I change the plant angle to like that, it'll look much nicer. Plus, of course, got to get all that top in there too. All right, folks, back when I got more to show you. It is February 20th, 2023. Quick spin on my variegated Ficus Benjamina. All right, folks, back when I got more to show you. Hello there. March 19th, 2023. Variegated Ficus Benjamina. This tree has gone through quite the transition this little over a year now, from being part of a much larger tree in my sister-in-law's living room to being this pre-bonsai here. Constantly transitioning itself as the structure of this tree kind of reveals itself to me. Still don't know completely 100% where I'm going with it. But some things I'm learning is this tree will backbud on old wood given the right conditions. I mean, see, where's it at? This branch right here, this was that little bud that was real stubborn about growing out. Now look at that thing. Shooting away the heck up here. And who knows, that may become the new leader of this tree real soon here, because gonna give you some ideas on where that thing grows out to. So it's about time for me to repot this thing. I want to get a look at those roots, make sure they're not getting too far out of control, and then get this thing up and running again. All right, folks. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to follow along. Please leave any comments, questions, concerns, violent criticisms in the comments section below. And I'll see you on the next chapter.